What's up, all my Cash App invested people? In today's video, I'm going to show you 5 stocks that are under $20 that if you are thinking of dabbling in the stock market, these are some stocks that don't cost too much, so you can get more of a bang for your buck, and then you can see what it can do for you. Before we get started, I just want to say that going forward on all my Cash App investing videos, I will not be showing my portfolio. I have been advised to stop showing my portfolio as it grows. And I guess it makes sense. It makes sense. So all I can just do going forward is just recommend things that I'm looking at, showing you what I'm seeing, and hopefully you can learn from it. Let's get to the business. Know what I mean? The first company on my list happens to be just a little over $20, but this company is called Mylan. Mylan. It is a specialty generic pharmaceutical company that works globally, which is very important. They have headquarters here in the United States, but they're based out in the Netherlands. This company has a lot of potential, a lot of upside, a lot of people down talking their future. They have recently, in the past year, acquired a company, I believe it's called Upjohn, that's been doing phenomenal. So that's definitely going to help out the company as a whole. And anytime I hear people like down talking a company that's, has some potential, that's right when I want to get in, because that means people are a little bit wary and they're not willing to see like what's going to happen or where the company's going to go. Unfortunately, when you're doing this, you have to believe in those companies that other people are not believing in. And what doesn't scare me away from them is because they are one of the leading specialty generic pharmaceutical companies, and that's globally. So for them to just randomly just disappear off the face of Earth, that would be to me unlikely, because we need pharmaceuticals. So I feel like the world runs on pharmaceuticals. So with a few minor tweaks in their company over the next 6 to 8 months, they can be on the up and up. But still do your due diligence, and this is just a company that's on my watch. If you do your due diligence and you do your research as you always should, you can find out whether this company is going to be a great company for you to invest in or not. Like I said, they're a little bit over $20. I believe $21.85 last time the market closed. So make sure you check out Mylan Pharmaceutical Company when you get a chance. The second company that I'm going to talk about today is called Zynga, which a lot of us are familiar with, but we don't know them by Zynga. They are an American social game developer, and they believe in connecting people through games. One of their biggest games that a lot of us, especially people my age, would know would be Words with Friends, Farmville, Mafia Wars. This is it's a California, San Francisco Bay game and development company that has been doing a lot of great consolidation. I would call it. I think that we're just in a time of consolidating, and they've done that very well. They've sold big properties. They've created some cash for themselves, and I think that although they might not be doing nothing killer right now, they could end up developing the next big game like Words with Friends. They could end up selling something. Like I said, they're doing a lot of great consolidation. So if you get in on this company before they make their biggest moves, it could be a win for you. Right now, I believe they're around $6 per stock. So very, very affordable. I mean, if you take $100 that you're going to go and spend out with your friends on a weekend, and you just invest $100 into Zynga, you don't know where that can lead you in 6 to 8 months, 6 to 12 months. Like I said, it's always a risk, but this is a very affordable stock right here. And like I said, we all know how Words with Friends took the world by storm. And I don't think that they're far off from creating the next big game that takes the world by storm, because people always need stuff to pass time. People always have their phone in their hand. Sometimes they don't want to be on social media, so what do? They play games. So do your due diligence on Zynga. and see if that is a company for you to invest in and to make a positive impact in your future. The third company I'm going to speak about today is located with its headquarters in Baltimore, Maryland. They're an American based athletic manufacturing company. We all know them as Under Armour. Yes, Under Armour. That's what I'm talking about today. And their stock price closed on Friday at about $20.99. So they're a little bit over $20. And Under Armour, I just feel like is always going to be at the head of athletic wear. You know, I know Puma's making a run, but after Nike, I really do think that Under Armour is just they hold in their position, and they're going through some changes right now. They're going through a CEO change. They are they're in a weird bubble, but that's where I like to catch them. That's where I like to catch them. They're in a weird bubble, and you want to catch these companies when they're in a weird bubble because a lot of people get scared and they back away from them, driving their stock price down, and they don't want to wait to see what's going to happen in the next 6 to 8 months. So they could make some positive changes. They can come out with these great things. I think that they're on a new campaign run and they're embracing their struggles. They still have some decent name people that represent their company. So if you cast them now while they're in this bubble, who knows, that stock price can shoot up to 25 to 30 depending on the right moves they make. With the right new CEO, with the right plans, with the right marketing ideas, they can be right where they've always wanted to be. And I think that they have just finalized, and you can do your own research, but I think that they did a restructure plan to save them money over like the last few years, and they have come into the final I don't want to say year because I don't know specifically when it started, but they are coming into the final turn of that plan. So this is when they're going to start to go, if all goes well, if all goes planned. So this is a company. If you do your due diligence, do your research, get in to a company like this right now while they're a little wary, while people don't know where they're going to go. 6 to 8 months, 6 to 12 months, your investment could be worth a little bit more than what it was today. The fourth company I'm going to talk about is Barrick Gold Corporation. They are the second largest gold mining corporation in the world. And with all this crazy stuff happening in the world, people are saying we're going to have like a money reset and gold is going to be the next way to be using as monetary value. And listen, gold has always kept its position, so this is a company that is pretty good to invest in. They last closed at $18 around there, so they're under 20. I've been watching them for the last few weeks and they've grown. I think when I was beginning watching them, they were at like $17 flat or near $16. So they've grew a little bit. And their headquarters in Toronto, I believe. Yes, Toronto headquarters. So they're right outside the US. But again, it's a global company. Global companies are very interesting because when one economy is doing bad, like say if US starts to do bad, if they're globally, that means they're still working at other companies. So it takes the risk a little bit lower because they're not just they're not just surviving off one economy, pretty much. They're surviving on multiple economies. So gold has always been in, and I think that gold is going to continue to be in. I think gold is going to continue to rise because it's very unique. It's very rare. So this is a company that you might want to get in, do your due diligence, do your research. I mean, there's not much to say other than they are the second largest gold mining company in the world. So the more gold they find, the better they do, the more that gold is rises, the better this company does, because they're going to continue to find gold, to produce gold, to distribute gold for the masses, because they are a global company. So do your due diligence on Barrick Gold Corp. And if you do good, your investment could be worth a lot more in the future. The fifth and last company I'm going to talk about is one that a lot of people know. In America, at least. I'm not too sure about other companies, but it's called Dropbox. They are a big, big name when it comes to online storage of files, online sharing, online cloud. I think they're backed up in like their cloud is backed up in like 16 different countries, so they like guarantee that your stuff will never go missing. And they are in I'm gonna keep calling it a weird bubble. They're hitting a low. But for me, Dropbox is a big name. It's a standout name. I've used other platforms, and when I bring the other platforms' names up, people don't know what they are, what those platforms do. But when you say the word Dropbox, they've done a very good job with their branding, and everybody knows fairly if you're sharing files, you know about Dropbox. If you run a business, you pretty much know about Dropbox. You know of it. It's very convenient to use. And they're in that weird bubble where they're hitting like a low. And I think that they're only a move or two away. And what that move consists of can be many things. It can be a new plan. It can be a change in services. It can be an addition in services. It can be a drop in price. It can be a lot of different things, but like I said, I think that they're only a move or two away from making great changes or even selling the company to another bigger company, a company acquiring it. Like I said, their brand is what's holding them through right now. They have a lot of loyal customers, the ones that are on. They're not seeing crazy growth because there's a lot of competition, such as, Google Docs, and Google doing this thing. There's other companies like WeTransfer and blah blah blah. I'm not going to go into those companies, but I think Dropbox brand name is worth more than all those other companies that are competing in that file transfer world. So I think that their brand name could pull them through. I don't think that they're gonna flop, because their brand name, they'll get bought out by a company at minimum, because a lot of people know about Dropbox. It's very convenient. The way that it links to your computer. Let's check what their last closing stock number price was $17.34. So they're under the $20 mark. So do your due diligence. Like I said, to me, I think that this company's only a few moves away from skyrocketing, and those few moves can be made within the next 6 to 12 months. So do your due diligence, do your research, and if you invest in this company, you can potentially have some positive financial changes in the future. Those are my 5 companies that are on my under 20 at the 20 stock watch list. Like I said, I can only let you guys know from here on out what I'm looking at, and I can briefly explain you why I'm looking at them, but it's always going to be up to you to do your research on what stocks best fit you and what you need in your portfolio. One thing I can always say is just be diverse. Don't just put all your eggs in one basket. I think that that's a simple rule that has always been told to everybody. Understand that this is always a risk, like anything in business, and that's why you diversify. Because if one company does bad and then 2 do great, you can do the math there. You're going to be on the positive side. So if you diversify well enough, if you do great research and have full understanding and full belief, if you don't believe in a company, don't invest in their stock. If you don't believe in what they're doing, if you don't believe in the information that you're reading, just be careful. And when you're doing research, don't just click the first article you see on Google. Understand that people can pay for their article to be ahead of others. So do your due diligence, research well, look through 5 articles, look through 10 articles. This is your hard-earned money that you're investing into the market and into this company. So really believe in what they're doing, and everything is not going to be perfect. Understand that everything is not going to say you're never going to read this company in 6 months it's going to go from here to here. Everything is a prediction because it's based on moves and plans. So do your research and take risks. Diversify. That's all I can say. I hope everybody learned something, or they learned about a company more than they didn't know before in this video. If you can, in the comments, please let me know if you are a future investor, you plan to, if you are currently invested in the stock market, or if you're just here to catch some extra information and sit on the sidelines and watch with a lot of other people. It would just be good to know. I appreciate you guys watching. Until the next episode, keep investing, y'all. Keep diversifying. Love y'all.